It's not the greatest holiday season for EA and DICE, simply because they keep making poor decisions. Not really surprising at all, because it's EA and DICE. 2 days ago, EA released a statement saying that Star Wars Battlefront 2 did not go as planned. That's an understatement, considering Star Wars Battlefront 2 originally launched with pay-to-win mechanics. Then everybody got really pissed off. I mean, obviously, like EA and DICE just really fucked that up, which is sad because let's face it, I've said this 1,000 times. All EA and DICE had to do to be heroes was take Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original, and copy it. Just copy it. You could have put Star Wars skins on fucking Battlefield 4 and people probably would have been happy. Instead, EA and DICE fucked their own game. More, it's probably like EA forced DICE to fuck it. You know, EA was like, we really need those microtransactions because FIFA's pulling in $1 billion a year. We think Star Wars will pull us in $10 billion a year. Get those microtransactions and make it pay to win. You know, user engagement, games of service. And then Patrick Sutherland tweaked his nipples twice, spun around and wiggled his nose, and then said, next, we're going to rewrite World War II. We're done with this. So anyway, as we all know, big backlash. Community says eat a dick. It got so bad that even governments stepped into loot boxes. EA single-handedly brought loot boxes to the forefront of governments. And as I've said many times as well, the last thing we want is the government involved in gaming. Because once the government gets a little taste of money, they'll sit there and tax the shit out of you. EA noted the game's launch did not go as planned, and I quote, with the understandable frustration around progression in the game, a decision to change the initial crate system was made. A large part of the team was put to the task of fixing the game's economy and progression. This new system was implemented in March, one without random progression and where everything is unlockable through gameplay. Funny how they understand now that was a bad idea, but somehow during the time of creating the game, they didn't see this coming until everyone blew up. Probably because they figured, you know, gamers are stupid as shit and they can make money off of them.
My ancestors are smiling at me, Imperials. Can you say the same?
On the plus side, if you like Star Wars Battlefront 2, Count Dooku and some more shit is going to be added in 2019, so the game is still receiving support. I don't know how the player base is doing because I can't really find any information on the player base stats. On the 15th, EA and DICE admitted the Battlefield 5 TTK changes were incorporated to capitalize on the new holiday season players. EA and DICE changed the time to kill to make killing players a little bit harder, more bullet spongy. Kind of like The Division, if you've ever played that.
The most immersive Battlefield that the players have ever played.
I have. When it first came out, enemies were spongy as shit. Like, you'd waste clips into people. This move was done so that new players didn't die as quickly and as easily, and it gave them more of a shot to survive. But it also kind of spits in the face of realism. I know what you're thinking. It's Battlefield 5. The war stories are like fanciful fiction of real events, slightly changed to suit a political narrative now.
Do you have a specific way that you want players to see this Battlefield?
Well, I think the best way we can describe it is immersive.
I know, I get it. So yeah, it shouldn't surprise anyone that they would do this. This move actually pissed off the core fan base so much that even Jack Frags said something. Now, you know, something's wrong when Jack Frags is willing to go, hey, DICE, you're screwing up here. Here's a clip from the letter to the community. New core playlist coming. So why change TTK now? The intent came from us observing that new players were having a very hard time with the game compared to our core players. And we wanted to see if we could improve this over the holidays so more players can have a great time. You know, it's life. If you suck at a video game, you suck. You got two choices. You get good or you continue to suck. And as a guy who's sucking right now because I don't focus on playing shooters anymore, if you see my Twitch streams, our allies look like SWAT team members or some shit. No! Fuck you, game! Why is he reloading?
Oh shit, he's on.
What the fuck?
And I'm not the type of dude to play a game and then chop up things to make myself look good. Like a lot of popular YouTubers that play first-person shooters. I know. I've talked to people. But, you know, I live with it. I don't put the effort forth anymore. There was a time when I used to sit and play Battlefield 4 for like 8 hours straight every day working on my aim. David Sterling said, I spent the day setting up communications around TTK and what the next steps are. Fret not, if a fan of the faster TTK, we'll have you covered. Jack Fragston comes in and said, I have to disagree with adding more core playlists for people that want launch TTK back. The new TTK should be considered as a second option instead. Adding more core game modes will just split the player base even more and elongate matchmaking times. It's also confusing for new players. I don't even feel like reading the rest of this shit. Because essentially you'll just find people telling EA and DICE they don't like it. Now this was on the 15th. So the 18th hits, which was yesterday, and Battlefield 5's team apologizes to community and rolls back time to kill changes. Clearly we didn't get it right. That's like the real thing. That's what really pissed people off. Is the fact that they did all this to suit some newcomers to the game for the Christmas holiday season without really consulting the longtime fans of the game, and they ignored things that needed to be fixed. That's what the whole big hullabaloo is about. It would have just been smarter. Battlefield 5 is already on thin ice. It's selling poorly compared to Battlefield 1, and most of the internet just doesn't care. Even longtime Battlefield fans have walked away. The only Battlefield fans that have been around forever that's still playing the shit are either big YouTubers that make their money off of Battlefield, or they're big YouTubers that don't mind getting sponsorships. I'm not going to point fingers, but they have a habit of yelling at people on Twitter. I found it funny and sad. You know, people can sit there and tell me they disagree with me on something, and I don't sit there and get into a fucking Twitter war telling them what assholes they are. Well, you don't agree with me, just unsubscribe. Like, I wish they would. You wouldn't be so fucking high and mighty your ass dropped a few million subs. End up like that Twitch streamer who like streamed with Jake Paul and then started shitting on his fans. He started losing subs and people were shitting on him on Twitter, and he immediately backpedaled when he started to lose money. I'm sorry, guys. I won't do it again. Can we just go back to blah, blah, blah? Don't let my channel die. Don't be a pussy. If you're going to shit in the face of your fan base, be ready to get kicked in the nuts. Then again, looking at that guy, he's probably never been hit in his life. Hey, I didn't give names, so nobody can get mad at me because I can't even remember the dude's name. So once again, EA and DICE learns by pissing off the fan base, getting a backlash, and then immediately backtracking and saying, we have learned a lot over the past week. So they had this to say: we have learned a lot over the past week. We've gained clarity on the issues you shared with us around TTD. We've identified imbalances in weapons and have recorded real-world data on how TTK changes our game and impact our players. With this knowledge, we have a better idea of how to improve the game going forward, and have already begun taking steps to improve the experience for all our players and new veterans. We fucked up. Again, we didn't listen, but now we're listening. We're sorry. Keep playing. Yeah, I should get the hell out of here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Maybe I won't even post this video. My energy is real zapped because I sat and watched two really fucked things. I watched Secret World of Puppy Play, where grown men in leather suits roll around and act like dogs. And I watched The Secret World of Horseplay. This shit is all on YouTube. It really... I don't know, man. I'm kind of lost. I just don't know what to make of the world anymore.